Now, our next boutique company was founded by a guy that stood for something, that stood for rad stuff made stateside, that the profits went into the pockets of the people peddling progress. He saw that there was a bona fide flatland industry that was in its infancy and it wasn't healthy. So he took the red pill and did something about it. The one, the only sick child. What up, people? This is Derek with Bendy Tubes. So, back in the 90s, a dude named Ed Nussbaum was fed up driving over-the-road trucking for this company, and he was ripping and riding, killing it on the flatland scene, but wasn't really too pumped on the bikes that were out there. So, I think he was onto something. I don't really know. I'm plagiarizing most of this. But as we roll through the aughts, he pointed out that there were not a lot of frames that were made in the US, and more importantly, not a lot that he would ride. So he set out to do something different. Inspired by the graveyard bars of the past, he also said, forget them bins, decided to cut and cap a couple tubes and made a kink that ruled them all. Not a bend for sure, but same effect. Sick Child was out of sunny California, rider owned and operated, and they were heavily focused on getting the details right. So meticulous planning went into their first production bike, the Bling. Now dates aren't great, so let's say that the next few products went from about 2003 to 8, 9, 10, maybe even 12. So back to that Bling, super cool frame. First one dropped around 2003. Here are some deets around that first frame by Ed himself. 19-inch top tube, 76-degree head tube angle, 71-degree seat tube angle, 12.75 to 13.25 rear end, give or take a little bit. Euro bottom bracket with brake mounts on the seat stay. The frame weighed in at 6 pounds. Lots of solid details. Double sleeve gussets up front, top and bottom, capped and tapered dropouts, traditional press fit headset, and that kink or bend or mitered tube joint technically, but really exceptional first effort from Ed. The next frame that Sick Child gifted us is the Metropolitan, later called the Metro. Now, it may have been around as early as 04, but this thing was a modern industrial work of art, definitely. Think Bling, but like squeezed. Tube diameter shrank, headset went internal, same tube miter kink though. Maybe available with or without brakes. I've seen both, but I don't really know if one was custom or not. Details, 74-degree head tube angle, 71 seat tube angle, 12.5 to 13 chainstay. You could get it with the 18.25 or 18.75 top tube. Now, I have a thing for these low slung, sleek frames, G9, Metro, tons of others for sure. Now, around 07, Sick Child abandoned the Bendy Brigade, which we will forgive, and made the Instrumental. Easy way to view this is as a straight tube version of the Metro. Same dims, same deets, same option on the top tube, so really cool. And good looking, like I said, by all means. Not bendy enough for me, but I also ride an Aries Game Changer right now, so, you know, stones and glass houses kind of thing here. Now, the Bling actually got a second generation called the Aqueduct. It made quite a few improvements over the Bling, but Thiago Flat has a fantastic write-up about it, so I'm just gonna reference that. All the tubing has been reduced in diameter and the sleeve gussets have been removed to streamline the appearance. The seat tube has been machined to remove a little bit of weight. The rear end has been redesigned, all with .035 thick 3/4 inch diameter tubing and laser cut 3/16 inch thick chromoly dropouts. Absolutely rad second generation Bling here in the Aqueduct. And then in my research, I found this, the Devastator. What a sick frame. Absolutely mind-boggling.
Did you just say mind-boggling?
Yeah, mind-boggling.
Absolutely wild. Here's a picture of Aaron Donato, one of the Sick Child sponsored riders riding this thing. What a find. And thank you to this individual on BMX Museum for posting this absolute unicorn. I'm gonna squeeze the brakes here for a second and gush over this thing. It is absolutely wild. I don't know what to call this shape other than a truss, but the floating bottom bracket, I mean, just talk about all the space and the Euro and internal. But I do want to say that Sick Child absolutely had some amazing handlebars, the relapse, the metal years, and the rehab bars amongst others. All sick in that 4 to 6 piece design. But you know, since they were mid-school, they were a bit smaller than today's bars. You know, usually 6 to 7 inches tall, 24 to 25 inches wide. And I do want to call out that one of the other things that changed with going to the new school is that a lot of riders went to 2-piece bars instead of these 4-piece bars. It looks more like a traditional BMX bike. I guess they didn't need the space anymore. So, you know, 4-piece bars kind of died out a little bit, but they're absolutely making a comeback. Some of these school companies like OG and Autumn and Arctic and FEC are making some absolutely banging 4-piece, 6-piece bendy bars, and they're big. They're compact down by the stem, but you got some leverage, like definitely ape hangers. 8.5, 9, 9.5 tall, 27, 28 inches wide, much bigger than the mid-school 4-piece and 6-piece bars. Finally, they had a really dope team. Bobby Carter, the OG of teaching everybody flatland with Hang 5. I might have a picture of the VHS that I have. Aaron Donato, super fluid style. Ed obviously rode, and then Sean White, who went on to form Biz House, had his fingerprints on the Hawk FFL. And Ed was giving back to all these riders, making sure that they could ride and be taken care of. And like some of the several other recent videos, Trevor Meyer made an appearance on a 21-inch custom Sick Child Metropolitan. So really cool. Read the interview below from Flat Matters for sure to check out more about that. So that was Sick Child. If you know, you know. Really fun to research, really cool to see that Devastator, and really great offerings from Ed and Sick Child. So as always, Derek, Bendy Tubes, out.